this video for a while. I wanted to show you guys my book collection, sort of. It's not all my books, but it's my bookshelf. It's kind of getting a little overpacked. A lot of books in it, but yeah. The lighting is a little weird, so I'm sorry. But honestly, I kind of feel like it makes it a little more cozy. Also, you might hear some cars go back and forth, just because my room is near the road, and that's where this bookshelf is located. For the most part, it's got 3 layers, Top layer is kind of just fiction and stories I like. The bottom layer, middle layer, all Star Wars and Harry Potter books. And the bottom is kind of, I guess, science and financial, like education is the best way to put it. And then I got books laying around because the bookshelf's too big. And I have up here the books that I'm kind of currently reading. Actually, Mastery. Sorry, I kind of want to point, but I am holding the camera and the mic. So, Mastery is a great book. I'm giving it to a friend to read. What's it about? It's basically just finding some things you're really good at and fulfilling your purpose in this world. So, it's a nice book. Down there, we got a book I'm reading right now, Star Wars Path of Destruction, Darth Bane. I like the Star Wars universe a lot. Definitely my favorite fantasy universe, probably. Pokemon might be up there, but yeah, I wanted to read more about the Sith stuff. Also, I'm reading a translation. Let's see. Maybe here, I'll put the thing on the tripod and then we'll get going. Actually, well, I'll talk about those books in a second. But for the most part, let's just quickly scan through the top, We got stuff like Art of War, Jurassic Park. I don't think I've read that, but Hunger Games. Dune, I didn't actually read either. I couldn't really get into it. It just reminded me too much of Star Wars. All the Pierce Brown, Iron Gold books. That series was good. We got some like Pokemon stuff. Let's see, Race in the Way, but got a bunch of like other scientific stuff back there. Here, there's my favorite book all time, Cloud Atlas, a magnificent masterpiece. Just got some Star Wars books. Darth Plagueis and Dark Disciple. Those were great. Like books. The 501 I didn't really read yet, but here we have all the Harry Potter, except we're missing number 2. And number 3 we have hardcover for some reason. And there we got Baby Yoda. So, well, I should probably move this thing. Alright, got some Baby Yoda. Yeah, bottom shelf over here, we got a bunch of universe and galaxy, astronomy books. Some more scientific stuff. We'll go more in detail in a minute. And we just got a lot of financial stuff over here. Oh, wait a minute. Now that I think about it, I'm like, where are all my finance books? They're all upstairs. So, after this, I'll go up there and talk about those as well. Then over here, we just have some 2 important ones. We got Principles by Ray Dalio. I only got that far into it. It's a really good book, but I just wasn't really in the mood of reading that type of thing. Aristotle's Politics, I guess some translation of it. It's a pretty heavy read, so I just wasn't really interested into it, but it was like $5, so I just bought it. Got some Greek, God and Heroes, ancient Greek, kind of just all those, basically every single story, so, and we just got some other like Japanese books up here. One Trip to Japan. We got Switch. So yeah, I'm gonna put this on the tripod. I'm just gonna probably angle it down this shelf because this is the shelf that you guys are probably the most interested in. So yeah, give me 1 minute. Okay, we're back. So yeah, this is one of the books I'm reading right now. Actually, why'd the camera move? Perfect. This is one of the books I'm reading now. It's Marcus Aurelius' Meditations, translation by Gregory Hayes. I heard it was the best translation, at least from reviews things. I guess it's Stoicism, I kind of forgot to pronounce it. But yeah, that's basically what it is. Just dealing through hardships, not complaining, and just, actually there's a really good quote, let me see if I can find basically what the entire book's about. I don't think I wrote it down though. It's like just, it doesn't teach you how to live your life, but it helps you, like, handle the suffering, not in like a pessimistic way, just like in a real sense. It's pretty cool. I kind of started, but I kind of stopped because I got hooked on mediations, but skunkworks, I do love a lot of military history, and wanted to read a more in-depth book. It is by Ben R. Rich. If you don't know what skunkworks is, you gotta look it up, it's interesting. A lot of cool stuff. I mean, over here we got submarine book, but then we just got a bunch of textbooks that I used during school. Actually, these two textbooks, can't see. These two textbooks I used during astronomy class. One was about the stars, galaxies. The other one was about our solar system. And I just got some cool, like, science of everything book. Just interesting. The singularity is near. I mean, this is a great book, but this topic is so heavy. Like, you really gotta be in the mood of reading it. Pretty intense stuff, but it kind of makes me sad. That's why I stopped reading it, because I guess I won't be putting that book back yet. Got the physics of superheroes. I think I did like a paper on this or something. It's like, if some superhero, like the Flash, like how many calories would he burn if he ran for like 10 minutes? And it was like how many cheeseburgers would he need. It's a lot. Got a brief history of time. Stephen Hawking. It's a great book. Some Arduino coding, Visual Basic coding, just not basic stuff, but just other science, technology stuff. Here we got Japanese candlestick charting. I did a book on that. For some reason, that book kept getting recommended to like non-ASMR listeners. It was getting annoying because I kept getting a lot of comments. I was like, anyway, whatever. I digress. Great book. Probably the best book about charting using candlestick techniques to find patterns in charts. I wouldn't say it's a lot of textbook material, Like, there's a lot of like functional, real world stuff missing. Even though he does give examples, it's still like, it's different. But it's a great guide, great place to like start and understand the meaning of candles. Next up, another Ray Dalio book, The Principles of Navigating Debt Crises. So this is 3 books actually. I can probably pull it out. 3 books, so heavy. We got part 1, The Architectural Big Debt Cycle. 2, Detailed Case Studies. 3, Compendium of 48 Case Studies. You can actually view this book online for free. I just bought it because I like it a lot. It looks cool. It's not really a book you read. It's a book that like you study and like take notes on. And it was getting really heavy to read, so that's why I stopped. But and I just didn't find the information like too valuable. I mean, it's very important information. I just meant in my world and in, like what I was doing right now. Like, it's just a lot of information. Like, just he talks about why debt cycles happen, how governments could avoid them. I guess it's really, I'm gonna actually take a book out because it's really pretty. Let's see. Let's take out the first book. It's the smallest. It's just very aesthetically written as well as other book principles. This is written nicely too. Let's open up to a page. I highlighted some stuff. It looks like I wrote it. Not wrote it, but I read it. See, it's got like charts. It's got a lot of figures. It's all formatted really nicely. I feel like he wrote this, for governments and people in higher positions of power to really understand debt cycles and not how to avoid them, but and like how to mitigate them and stuff. And for like an average person like me to read, just to gain a better understanding. 2,000 years ago, and he kind of just shows you the evidence. So it's really interesting stuff. But I just lost interest because just get busy with other things. Here we have, let's see, 400 years of American history. This book, like, honestly, it seemed good. It actually feels really nice too. But the big problem is it's written for, like, I hate how this guy wrote it. I'm sorry. Boo. It's so hard and boring to read, like, and I have a pretty, like, boring tolerance too. Like, I can read textbooks and be like, yeah, this is kind of interesting. This guy just makes it so boring. Like, I just can't. He uses so many, like, big words for no reason. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I'm dumb. I can't understand it. And I'm not looking for a challenge. Like I do enjoy reading books that have words that I understand, so I can look them up. But, like, man, there's just so many. It's just not a fun read, I'll say that. This is another Dale Carnegie book. We have the other really popular one upstairs. But this book was like $5, so I was like, oh, just give me it. Like, why not? I didn't read it yet, though. Next, we have Keeping at It. This is, who's this guy again? He's a friend of Ray Dalio's, but he's I think he died, actually. He's the chairman of the Fed from 1979 to 87. He did some good things. Did I read this whole book? No. I don't remember reading this whole book, but I think I read, like, half of it. Why did I stop reading this, though? Because usually there's a reason why I stopped reading it. Maybe I did finish it because I don't see any bookmark or indent. I don't know, but just a good lesson. He talks about, again, not making money, but the government's role in making, like, a financial system, because that was literally his job. Got a book about Elon. I read this like 5 years ago. I was a freshman in college. I used to love Elon. I was like, dude, he's the best dude ever. Like, sorry, I keep saying I just thought he was like the best dude. He was so smart. He was changing the world. But then this book kind of takes a different side of him, about his. I mean, it's like a biography, but kind of talks about. There's a lot of interviews, I think, with employees telling about how they treated them, and how a lot of people help fund his vision and dream. So it's the same thing with, like, Apple too. It's like Steve Jobs didn't make the Apple. He probably had the idea, or make Apple phone or anything, but he had the ideas and stuff. But there's so many people that support the dream too that don't take the recognition. It's kind of important to remember all those other people too helping out. So just kind of changed my point of view on all that stuff, and kind of made it so Elon wasn't like this god figure in my mind, but more of just like a boss. Next we have Tim Ferriss, 4-Hour Workweek. I think I read this in like a day. This book gets raved about online. I think this entire book, look at all those pages, could be summarized in like probably a paragraph to be real with you. Like, I think the concept's really important to understand. Like, not working your whole life, setting up like a system of things. It's probably easier said than done. It definitely is, but you could probably try to figure, if you want it bad enough, you could probably figure it out. But yeah, just a lot of, like, everything you hear about this book online that people talk about is enough. You don't actually have to read the book, in my opinion. Kind of just, not rambles, but it's just stuff that if you watch a lot of YouTube videos, people talk about this stuff anyway. So I get this is probably where it like originated from, but I don't know. Next we have The Perfect Bet. This book was alright. It's just how science and math are taking a look at gambling. It kind of talks a lot about like horse racing and stuff. This is like $25 book. This book wasn't that good. It kind of, yeah. I read this book a while ago. Yeah, it talks about like robotic trading. Everyone, yeah. It just wasn't that good of a book. These are my dad's. Real Money, Mad Money, and Stay Mad for Life. I mean, they're really decent places to start learning about investing, especially if you like Jim Cramer, but I don't know, I wouldn't recommend them just because I think there's other better books out there. It's all the same information, like a lot of these investing books. Like that's why, like, let's see, like even a book like Keeping at It, like it's not about investing. It's just about more like the history of it, and it takes on a different perspective. And I don't know, but a lot of these books are just all the same regurgitated information now. But yeah, anyway, before we Principles by Ray Dalio, though. Oh, it's over there. I would definitely recommend that. It's a really good, like, core building block, or helps you with the building block of understanding yourself and what are things that you believe in enough to, like, revolve your life around certain ideas, literally principles, to live your life by. And Ray Dalio talks about his, and as you read it, you kind of reflect on yourself, like, what are mine, like, what are some things that I live by, It's cool stuff. But yeah, Cloud Atlas, great book. It's about 6 stories, each in a different time period. You got, like, the ancient, like 1600s maybe. You go all the way to the apocalyptic future. It's crazy. And then it starts off, I can't really show you guys, but actually I can. It starts off like this story, then you read this one, then this one, you read all 6, and then you go backwards, and then by the end you kind of realize that everyone has similar problems. This is not a spoiler, it's kind of like, I think written on the back too, like everyone just has different problems, yeah. The result is brilliantly original fiction that reveals how dispirited people connect, how their fates intertwine, and how their souls drift across time like clouds across the sky. Really beautiful. Just everyone's problems are kind of similar regardless of who you are, where you've been, and like decisions and actions you make today will impact other people's decisions or impact other people's lives in the future. And in the past, almost. There's a movie about it too. It's not bad. I would definitely say to read the book though, but the movie wasn't bad. It was just long. The movie wasn't long enough, to be honest. It would need to be longer because it's so in depth of a story. But it's a hard story to make a movie about. It's easier to read. That's what I'll say about that. So I'm gonna jump cut to the other books we have. I don't think you guys want to hear about the other stuff up there too much. Just kind of, just a bunch of fiction stuff. Got some Michikaku, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Yeah, just a bunch of other stuff. Actually, I don't know why those books are out. I have those books up there because they're smaller. But yeah, those books should be down here, the science ones. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. So here we got some other important, these are probably the most important financial books that I have because I have them in this dedicated room. So they're always at like the forefront of my thoughts. Capital, 21st Century. This book is so heavy to read. It's a lot. It's basically a textbook. I started reading it like a freshman in college. I realized I was too dumb to understand it, so I haven't opened it up since then. But now I think I could understand a better part of it, or at least, what it's trying to say. Stock Market Logic. This was a good book. Very informative. It had a lot of older strategies to it. I'm trying to think. There's a lot of strategies that they discuss in this book that has seasonal trading, like if you bought some stocks like this month. Oh, why is that falling? Alright. Not the best system I have. Let's see what we have here. Let's see what other notes I have. I don't really remember. I don't know honestly, but it goes into a lot. Actually, wait, I can put this on the tripod and show you guys. Here's what I'll do. Oh, I just can't do the books. I'll move over to the table. This way I can actually show you guys inside the book some of the things. Stock Market Wizards. I still think this is the best trading book per se I've ever read, because it's not about like any theory or any like set system. It's about people, really good traders, and they discuss things that they've done, their thought process, and like, you know, how they did it. And you kind of see that everyone has their own trading style, everyone thinks their own way, but the important thing is that they think the thing that they're doing is right and important, and they like prove it. I don't know if that makes sense, but great book. If you like trading, that's probably the only trading book I'd recommend specifically for trading, not for investing or getting intellectually or financially illiterate, just trading specific. Obviously, Rich Dad Poor Dad, we got a video on that as well, and Market Wizards too. The ideas in Rich Dad Poor Dad are very basic in my opinion, but it's important that you understand, you get the narrative behind it, and you understand Robert's story. So yeah, good book, all about stocks. It's the first stock book I think I bought myself. It's kind of basic, but it's a good guide if I ever need like some quick information that I forgot about. Demographic cliff. This kind of talks about like the baby boomers and stuff, and this guy thinks there's gonna be a lot of deflation. I think, in my opinion, I feel like inflation is definitely more probable, but I do like to hear both sides of the story, so that's why I kind of read this. I think, yeah, I know I did finish this book. Yeah, you can see. I had a lot of notes. Not a bad book, but again, I just read it because I think the opposite. Intelligent Investor, again, a textbook. Gotta read that a few times, take notes, really understand it. Probably the only investing book you might need. But I think again, it's dry. There's no fun to it. Like Rich Dad Poor Dad has similar elements to Intelligent Investor, just more of a narrative, less of the like facts and numbers and stuff. We got the Lessons of History by William and Ariel Durant. Good book, really short, just really key takeaways from things that happened, and we'll get to this in a minute because I kind of forgot what exactly was in this. How to Influence People. Enough is talked about that. It's just a good book. Reminiscence of a Stock Operator. Who was this by again? Or who? I forgot who this was. Who did he talk about? I forgot what this book was about. I'll look through this in a second with you guys. Dark Pools, good book about trading bots. Peter Lynch, One Up on Wall Street, that's a good book. Again, just talks about stocks, trading, kind of investing. Richest Man in Babylon. Really basic understanding, you just buy assets, that's basically it, but it's again building the narrative, understanding why you do it, and lessons from history. Lastly, we've got The Wealth of Nations. Adam Smith, very important book. I think a lot of people should be reading this, and maybe not the whole thing, it's really long, really dry. I only read like the first couple pages. I skimmed around some sections that I was interested in. Just a really thick book, like it's thick over here. It's like 1,000 pages, I think. Definitely not a book you read before bed. It's heavy. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna flip the camera around. Let's take a look at some of these books in person or up close, so I remember what they're about. All right, let's look at the Stock Operator. I forgot what this was about. I didn't highlight anything either. Oh, yeah, I highlighted some stuff. spend minutes on Wall Street, make minutes, doesn't tell you this and everything. It was never my thinking that making the big money is a city. What is so important about this? I'm trying to figure it out. In a bull market, your game is to buy and hold. Do you believe that the bull market is near an end? To do this, you must study general conditions, not the tips, special factors affecting stocks. Yeah, just kind of getting the overall trend. I think that's what he says here too. Let's see what else. I think this was about some guy though. Yeah, they say there's two sides to everything, but there's only one side to the stock market, the bull side and the bear side. Jesse Livermore, yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. I don't see his name though in here. This is a pretty, I wouldn't say this is like the best book I read. I think like One Up on Wall Street, but Peter Lynch is much better. I didn't really highlight a lot of stuff. Let's see. If I fool myself, I told him, I alone suffer and I pay the bill at once. When I make money, I back my own opinions. I don't sell them or capitalize them if I made money in a way. Yeah. Kind of just reflecting on this guy's entire life of trading stocks. I like those experience books, you know, because you can only take so many, like, books about, oh, this is what liquidity means. This is my strategy. I trade notes about people reflecting their opinions. Yeah, this is a really short book, but it's brief though. You know, history of Earth, biology, religion, economics, all this has to do with just history. It just puts things into perspective is what I'm trying to say. Is the main point of it. People reacted as any nation would react under siege. You put aside all individual freedom in order to. Yeah, that's important. Talking about socialism and history of Germany. So the revolution took a communistic form because the new state was challenged by internal disorder and external attack. The people reacted as any nation will under siege. It put aside all individual freedom until order and security could be restored. Here too, communism was a war economy. Kind of just talks about how nations fall under like government rule, and it's when they give up freedom for security and you don't get it back. You got religion too. Got everything, morals. Just really brief. Ray Dalio recommended this book, I think, in one of his videos or discussions. That's why I read it. Then we got this Dickey. I love this book. It's just so satisfying. Like the density, the thickness, the hardness level to it. I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, this has got so many things in it. The seasonality indicator. That's literally what I was talking about. It literally has so many, I guess, different indicators, but not all these are like technical indicators. I think this book was written a little bit longer ago, so all the doesn't have too many technical stuff. It still does, but so it has stock market indicators. Like literally, just all this stuff is more like fundamental indicators, almost, if you will, which I thought was cool to see that side. Usually we hear about just technical indicators. Here we got some more stuff, just to economics and the stock market, economic metrics. Stock selection theories is like how you should actually plan your trades and execute it. Then the total financial management system. I guess for the entire portfolio, how should you approach it? Measuring how you have to measure your success and failures to see if you're actually doing good. Using the mutual fund, you can always throw your money there. I run down Random Wall Street. I still didn't read that book, A Random Walk Down Wall Street. I kind of anticipated similar to like the other books I've read, but yeah. A sophisticated approach, so this is a good like technical indicator book as opposed to a fundamental indicator book. It's heavy read again, like these aren't things you just like to assimilate, correctly interpret, and act on available information before it is fully appreciated by most market participants. And yeah, just important stuff, honestly. This book, I don't know if anyone actually notices it. It's from a movie. I'll leave it at that, but I'll give you 2 seconds to think about it. It's from... Oh my gosh, what's the movie? Michael Berry movie. The Collapse. What's it called? Wait, why can't I think of this movie? It's like where they predict the crash of the 08. The Great Crash. What's the movie? Anyway, it's in Michael Berry's room, I think. It's somewhere on the shelf. Wait, this is gonna bother me. Hold on, I gotta look this up. Oh my gosh, how can I forget? The movie, The Big Short, yes. Duh. Wow, it's embarrassing. I've watched that movie like 4 times. But yeah, this book was on one of his shelves. I think that's all I have to talk about. Yeah, I'm not really reading any... Excuse me, I'm tired. Any more stock market books or anything. I feel like there's no point. I feel like I have enough information that I have to, use it wisely as opposed to increase my knowledge. It's more now if I want to get knowledge, I read the newspapers or, watch some YouTube videos about specific interviews on a particular topic. I don't really need to be reading stuff on it. I don't mean reading, I mean reading financial books. You read enough, stuff and it just becomes the same. It's like listening to a particular genre of music. After a while, it's just kind of the same information, but I guess then again you have to, with reading, you can dive deeper, read more specific research and stuff, but then it's like at that point, if it becomes unfun, and I don't really see the value of it, like I'm not gonna do it. So that's why I'd rather just read kind of more mindful stuff, I guess, like mediations, maybe even like principles, just managing emotions, living a more fulfilling life, because this stuff, I don't need, almost 99% of the stuff in this, I don't need to know. It's interesting if I didn't know before, because it's like, oh, maybe I'll try this strategy or this strategy, but at the end of the day, it's like, I kind of already have a strategy that I kind of like to use. It's somewhat profitable, and, just, I guess, have fun doing it. I don't know if that makes sense, but I don't need to be learning all these new strategies or potential ideas. I think I've kind of had my own ideas about what I need to do. It's just having the, mindfulness, again, and confidence to trust my abilities and do it. So, yeah. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'd rather read, a financial report, an SEC filing, as opposed to this book. Let's just say particularly. Because I know that I have enough knowledge that I should be able to translate the SEC filing to do it like this company or not, as opposed to I need to learn new trends, new indicators. So that's basically what I'm trying to say. Before we go, let's take a look at this book. This book is massive. This book is I don't even know what this is about anymore. This is just the 21st century of economics, and I don't even know. But it's probably a good book. Cambridge, Massachusetts, London, England. Yeah. It is heavy. Anyway. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed the book video. Yeah. I think that's all I had to say about all these books. For now, take care. If I read another book, I'll let you guys know or something, but if you have any questions or any comments about any books, let me know. Maybe I can make a video about it, or just